follow us on Twitter, LoungeWithJohn. Other viewers on Facebook at facebook.com/BlindNationVideos.
Hello everyone, I am your host John here at Lounging with John News Network. One of our newest features where we're going to be covering news stories, new topics, breaking news, and even news from the past. In this case, this was posted in 2016 that we're getting ready to talk about, and that is abortion. Something that currently I'm actually doing a research paper on it, as a matter of fact, and I don't support those who have abortions. Now, let me say this, and please listen carefully. Sometimes abortion cannot be avoided. I'll say it again. Sometimes abortion, quote, cannot be avoided, quote. Okay? So, if you had to have an abortion because of serious conditions, that is one thing. But to have an abortion because you don't want to take on the responsibility, or you didn't want to get pregnant, that is another. And I don't hate anyone that has an abortion. I just don't agree with it. Okay? It's my honest opinion. We all have them. Some women have had to have abortions, and there's been no choice. There are women that have been raped. There are women that have abortions due to medical reasons. Basically, if they have the baby, it would kill them, or there's 80-90% chance that they would die. So there are conditions that sometimes we can scratch our head to and say, you know what, that's acceptable. At least, to where we're not fighting the person about it, right? We're not fully saying, you know what, we're going to fully judge you for doing that. You shouldn't have done it, right? It's hard for me to describe because it's a very touchy topic. Excuse me. All right, for that said, let's go ahead and get started here. All right, so abortion laws under Trump, things are about to change. This was posted in 2016. Before President-elect Donald Trump actually won the election, healthcare professionals were beginning to warn women that this could create a large change, especially for their reproductive health. Women are told to get their IUDs and stock up on birth control and other important needs to avoid getting pregnant when they're not wanting to get pregnant or have a child. Don't try to be the maker. Texas is now looking into new laws for abortion. Before this law went into effect, abortion centers, after giving abortions to their patients, they would just throw away the remains. It is now required that after an abortion, there will either be a burial or, alright. Yep. To either bury or incinerate the remains. If they're incinerated, they will either have to be buried or scattered. Sorry about that. This is what's sad. In the past, the aborted fetus was seen as any other tissue that might come from a female. This is why it was considered medical waste. that is just ridiculous. Instead of being buried or incinerated, it would be disposed with the rest of the medical waste or any other medical waste that the healthcare would acquire. Typically, this would go to a sanitary landfill. Of course, these laws are also extending to any miscarriages, that may be found by a healthcare professional. It doesn't reach out to anyone that has a miscarriage or abortion at home. Let's just hope you're not having no abortions at home. Let's hope that people are smarter than that and not, as of now, continuing to go to the black market abortion, which is very illegal, will get you a felony, and will put you in prison for a long time, and you would deserve it. Once again, the Texas anti-abortion laws are struck down. They were struck down by the Supreme Court. Of course, they're simply rewritten and put into place. And that's a different story. We're not going to read that right now, okay? Now, right here's what I'd like to see. Texas will now require aborted fetuses to be buried or cremated. That is the way it should be. How can anybody, after, doing something like that, taking and just throwing away something like that? It's horrible. Horrible. That is a life, okay, that is being taken. And then after that, not only after that, though, let's just throw it away. Thumbs up to Texas. I am very glad you did that. And by the way, that law did go into effect last year, 2016. It went into effect, I believe it was September. Here's another little heading here. It says abortion laws and politics. The change in abortion laws was originally proposed by the government. And it was sent in an email in July. But opposition is saying that this measure serves no real benefit. Cremation can cost nearly $10,000, which could potentially raise the abortion cost in Texas. Good. Maybe if we raise the cost of abortion, not so many people will go to have an abortion, right? Of course, and it says here, regardless as to whether you are pro-life or pro-choice, it's hard to deny a woman a woman has a right to her reproductive health. Not only are politics ignoring these rights, but they're ignoring the warnings that are coming from the medical community. It says, for now, the lawyers will fight against this. Basically, they're fighting against this law, while your regular community will be writing letters stating how they feel. Alright, so it's horrible. Where did my, here we go. I'm not saying that there's not situations where a woman has to have an abortion, okay? But I will never be for abortion. Ever. Ever. Now, there are some really touchy topics, okay? There's, conditions of a woman being raped, ended up getting pregnant. A teenager ended up getting pregnant. So there's certain things that happen to where abortion ends up being the only option. And I'm not going to get into that because it's a very touchy area on abortion. And, I don't want to say the wrong thing or be taken in the wrong way. Okay? Something else that they've been fighting with new laws and stuff is that some parents, when their child gets pregnant, say 15 or 16, not that I permit this because I don't, but the child wants to keep their baby, or the teenager rather, wants to keep their baby, while the mother says, no, you're not keeping this baby, you're having an abortion. This is how I see that, okay? I don't agree that any girl at the age of 15 or 16 should get pregnant. I do not. I don't. It's definitely way too early, way too soon. But if it happened, here's my thought on that. At the age of 15, 16, 17 years old, I don't sit here and say that they should know everything and they, shouldn't make mistakes. But they should learn from their mistakes. If a guy, say he's 15, goes out, shoots a person, what happens? What happens? He goes out, shoots a person, takes that person's life, what happens? He gets sent to court, found to be guilty, goes to prison for the rest of his life. Right? Plain and simple. He made that choice. A woman, or a girl, teenager, goes out with their boyfriend. They go to the movies and whatever. How it goes when teenagers are 16, they're out with their boyfriend, riding around in their car. You know where it leads. They decide to do this and do that, end up pregnant. Why is it okay to have an abortion? Why? They decided to go out, mess around, make the wrong choices. Shouldn't they pay? Shouldn't they have to pay? Shouldn't they have to learn their lesson? Or should the parent just be like, nope, you're having an abortion. That's it. Look, I don't agree on killing an innocent baby. Some might say, no, it's not a baby yet. Don't give me it. Don't even try to convince me any differently. Okay? I can show you extensive factual information about that. I have loads and loads of information that show how when the abortion takes place, as some call the, some say baby, others say, whatever. Did you know they can feel it? Did you know that? You're going to say, no way, it's not possible. It is possible, and it's a fact. It is a scientific, medically proven fact that pain is felt. Now, being that I have teenagers and children that listen, I will not go into detail about how they do these abortions. But if anybody wants to argue with me on it, be my guest. Because it won't matter. Okay? Abortion is wrong. In the story. Like I said, sometimes a woman doesn't have a choice. Medically and other conditions that are very serious. I understand that. I do. Look, if you don't want the baby, at least shouldn't you, for getting pregnant and making that mistake, shouldn't you suffer a little bit? Like 9 months, and then adopt your baby out? Or should you have an abortion and end up suffering for the rest of your life knowing that you killed your baby, that you killed your child, that you killed an innocent life? I want you to think about that. Those of you that are for supporting the fight against abortion, share this like crazy. Tweet it. And hashtag stop abortion. Tweet it. Hashtag stop abortion. Right? I love you guys very much. And until next time, stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon. This is John with Lounging with John, with our newest feature, our News Network. Bringing you breaking news, local news, and past news. Take care.